Hi everyone, this is the 77th video of the ACT Math Practice Problem series, and here we have another nice problem from the concept of equation of straight line from the coordinate geometry. As I always recommend, before seeing the solution, you can pause the video and give it a try yourself, and after that of course you want to match with my solution. So let's get started. Here the question says a line having equation 3x minus 2y equals 6, that's the equation of the given straight line. It intersects the x-axis at which of the following 5 points? Right, so we have been given 5 options. Those are nothing but coordinates of point on the Cartesian coordinate plane, and we have to find out where on the x-axis this straight line would cut the x-axis, right? Meaning what are the coordinates of the point where this straight line would cut the x-axis. Now what is the equation of the straight line? Well, the equation of the straight line is 3x minus 2y is equal to 6. Now to solve this type of problem, we can solve it in two different ways. Let's do the first way, which is converting the equation of the straight line into the intercept form. So what is the intercept form of a straight line? Well, the intercept form of the equation of a straight line is kind of like this. It would be x over a plus y over b is equal to 1. Now what is a? Well, a is the x-intercept. So here let's have a quick note here. This a is the x-intercept. And then of course b is the y-intercept. So here b is actually the y-intercept. I have already created separate videos on the equation of straight lines. I have provided the link in the description. Feel free to watch the video to understand how this equation has been derived. Now if we convert this given straight lines equation into that form, how is it going to look like? Well, on the right hand side we have to have 1, right? So let's divide everything by a positive 6. Then at least the right hand side will become 1. So from here we can say, well, if we divide both sides by a positive 6, it would be 3x over 6 minus 2y over 6 is equal to 6 over 6, which would be equal to 1 anyways. So then from here what do we get? Well, we get x over 2 minus y over 3 is equal to 1. And then if we write it like this, we can say, well, then this is x over 2 plus, I want to convert it into the plus form, then we can say y over negative 3 is equal to 1. So here you can clearly see what is the x-intercept, which is actually positive 2, and the y-intercept is negative 3. Now in this question we have to find out the coordinates of the point where this straight line will cut the x-axis. That means we definitely need the x-intercept. Now as soon as you know the x-intercept, what would be the coordinates of that point on the x-axis? Well, any point on the x-axis has a y-coordinate of 0. So our point would be 2, 0. That would be the point on the x-axis where this straight line will cut the x-axis, because we have found the x-intercept already, which is 2. That means the point is actually positive 2 distance away from the origin, and because the point is on x-axis, the y-coordinate will definitely be 0. So the coordinates of that point would be 2, 0, and that is our answer. Now what is the second method of solving this type of problem? Well, if you think about it, if our equation is like this, let me rewrite the equation here again. I am using a different color. So 3x minus 2y is equal to 6. Now for a point on x-axis, we know that the y-coordinate of that point would be 0. So in this equation, can we substitute this y with 0? And if we do that, what will happen? Well, because the straight line is going through that point, right? It is a point whose x-coordinate we don't know yet, but we know the y-coordinate because the point is on x-axis, the y-coordinate will be 0. And if the straight line is cutting the x-axis on that point, that means the straight line is passing through that point. That means if the coordinates of that point are h, 0, then these coordinates should satisfy the equation. So let's put that in the equation then. Well, then we can say that 3 times x, we can write it as 3 times h minus 2 times 0. I am using 0 for y and h for x. That would be equal to 6. And from here you can clearly see that 3 times h is equal to 6. And from here we can say, well, then h is definitely 2. 6 divided by 3, that would be 2, right? So now you see that we have derived the point here. So the coordinates of that point would be 2, 0. So whichever way you solve the problem, you will obviously get the same answer. And in this case, the answer is that the coordinates of that point would be 2, 0. And if you look at our answer options, we have 2, 0 under option C. So option C would be the correct answer. I hope everything made sense. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.